Irvin, Cowboys' longtime great, perhaps wide receiver, was hit on that play. Here's another look at it, John.
Yeah, and you can see that it's his helmet going into the turf in his right shoulder. They took him off. They took him in an ambulance. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, went with him. We just talked to Rich Dalrymple, the PR man from the Cowboys, and he said Jerry Jones called back here to the stadium and said that they're cautiously optimistic that he is moving his extremities.
And Rich Dalrymple also said, as they were putting Michael into the ambulance, he asked him, was he okay? He said, are you okay, Michael? Michael said, yes, I am. So that's all encouraging, but we're still cautious and hoping.
And they're still taking a lot of tests.
Out to the 25. Let's go down to DJ Johnson.
I spoke to Chan Gailey at halftime about what he said to his team about the Michael Irvin situation. Chan said he didn't address it at all. He said no one on the team asked, and he didn't tell. He said he believed that the word of Michael Irvin is starting to filter through the team. But they heard he has movement in his extremities, and everyone is a little more relaxed now about his condition. Back to you, Pat and John.
All right, DJ. That reception that he made when he was injured was the 750th of his career, and that moves him into a tie for 9th place with Charlie Joyner. This is Deuce Staley. Staley out to about the 30.
Yeah, we talked about Donovan McNabb, and if he should go in the game. And when Doug Pederson came in, the Philadelphia Eagle fans here all booed because they want to see McNabb too. But I think there's only two people that know when and if he's ready. One is Donovan McNabb, and the other is the coach. And I think until they feel that he's really ready, then they're probably not going to just put him in a game where they still have a chance.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage is Deuce Staley. I think we'll see him at some point in the third quarter.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put him in, now would be the time, because if you're not going to put a guy in who's the second player chosen in the draft when you have a chance, then the reverse of that would be when the game is out of hand and you don't have a chance, and say go in and win at McNabb. I mean, now he would still have a chance to go in and win the game.
The word we have is that Mark Stepnoski, who had a back contusion in the first half, will not be back. Doug Pederson scrambling around. Kavika Pittman makes sure he stayed down, and the fans again start to boo.
And the fans have a right to boo. I mean, this is one of the worst offenses that I've ever seen. I mean, they just they can't run the ball, they can't pass it, they can't pass protect. Here's Greg Ellis coming around the corner. He's getting to be a pretty good pass rusher because they're using a new technique. He used to be a 5 technique where he was tight on the tackle. Now it's called a wide 5, where he gets to line up a little more outside the tackle like we just saw.
Landetta's punt sails out of bounds as a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. But Sean Landetta didn't hit that one very well at all.
Oh, that was the word that if it were golf you would never say. I mean, you never use that word shank. But the penalty is going to be against the Eagles, and I think the Cowboys are going to have such good field position.
Kicking team, number 38, downfield. Penalty is declined. First down.
Cecil Martin, and you're right. The Cowboys decline the penalty, so they take over once again with good field position, leading the Eagles 10-0.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform. Be different.
The paperwork goes on the sideline while the Cowboys are ready to go. LaFleur in motion, and the pitch is back to Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt gets about 9. He has to cross that yellow line.
Hey, I saw in the bathroom 2 old Eagles. Mike Quick, remember Mike Quick?
Sure do. Good
wide receiver, and who was Mike Quick was one of the best blocking receivers I think that ever played the game.
Yeah.
And the other guy, a little goofy sometimes. He says he owns a lot of hotels now. Bill Berge, or the old linebacker, really? Bill Berge, yeah.
A little goofy, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in the bathroom.
All that in the bathroom?
Yeah. Here's Mike Quick and Bill Berge. We're having a talk.
I'm surprised you got back so soon.
Well, I didn't get back so soon. I was a little late getting back. You have to talk.
Emmitt just shy of a first down, I believe.
Bill Berge, when he was a rookie at Cincinnati, we're playing, and there's Mike Quick right there. There's Mike Quick right there. Yeah. I think Bill Berge does some radio work too. I think they both do some radio work.
Mike Quick made a bathroom stop. John Madden made a bathroom stop.
And Bill Berge's here somewhere.
So they all look comfortable.
Bill Berge looks like Matt Milley dressed in a sweatsuit. He looks like he's ready to go work out.
Here's Aikman. To Chris Warren. Warren gets up enough. There
he is. There's old Bill Berge right there. I thought he said he was doing some radio work. He doesn't have a microphone. That's what linebackers will do.
If he's doing radio work, he's missing some equipment.
He doesn't. Maybe the work is he's listening to it. Or he may have some kind of post-game gig, probably.
That from now on.
But see, we find them around there. We find those guys.
You'll be the three amigos. Madden, Quick, and Berkey.
Draw to that. That's the reason you get a full house.
Aikman is hit just as he lets it go through the hands of Ismail.
You know, that's the second play in a row that Mike Mamuli hit Troy Aikman. On that play before, he got him, and this time he got him. He's going to come from this side right here. Gets around Flozell Adams. You see, he takes an inside move. Larry Allen almost holds him, but he also hit Troy Aikman and knocked him down the play before that.
Third and about 8 or 9. 4 wide receiver setup. Mills comes in motion and stops. Aikman has time and throws incomplete. And a man, Jeff Ogden.
That was an interesting thing, as you said. Mills came in motion, and Warner was over there too, and they just kind of made a whole line so that Aikman could get out to this right side. And it's interesting that the most important thing in this Cowboy offensive game plan is their pass protection.
That seemed to be the first thing they were concerned about coming in here.
Yeah, Chan Gailey wasn't going to let Troy Aikman get knocked around here today.
Going to punt. Kick bounds down to about the 2-yard line, and again the Cowboys down it there.
And again, the Eagles are going to have terrible field position.
Jeff Ogden down to it. The Eagles have been in dreadful places to start. Bernie Kukar, the referee, has gone over with Chan Gailey, and Chan's called him over again.
Yeah, he's going to go review this one, Pat. This is going to be reviewable because they said the ball was a touchback. They declared later that the ball went in the end zone. The ball never did get in the end zone.
Where is he going to review it? To the bathroom?
I don't know. I mean, he left the building.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way down there, and it could be a bad weather thing, and they have to keep it in the tunnel. But you watch this. This ball never does go in the end zone, nor does whoever touches the ball have their feet on the end zone or in the end zone or on the goal line.
He had been in the end zone, but he came out.
And he can come out as long as he doesn't touch it while he's in the end zone. That's legal, and the ball should have been spotted there, and this will be one that they'll probably overturn. Well, they should overturn him.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, all the evidence says that the ball never went in the end zone. The official is right there looking at it. I mean, he should know what it is. And he throws his beanbag went in the end zone, though. He threw his beanbag. I don't know. He should have thrown it where they touched it down. The beanbag had a little hook on it.
Both players jumped over the end zone line.
Yeah, I mean, that ball should be right there. That's not...
Both Ogden and Charlie Williams, there's the review process going on in the tunnel.
And probably because of the rain. It was raining heavy before the game, so they usually have these review things outside.
Yeah.
Probably because of the rain, they had to put it in the tunnel.
That's pretty clear. I don't know why this is taking...
Well, I thought initially they said that that the ball is down in the 1 or 2, and then they later said that it was a touchback.
Well, that one official threw his beanbag down in the end zone, as you saw.
But he was looking right at where the guy was. I don't know why it would have went in the end zone.
Andy Reid looking on, and Chan Gailey has challenged this, obviously.
And obviously it's one that could be challenged because it is a boundary, and that was a boundary infraction or a boundary call.
Well, he's made his decision.
After reviewing the play, the man reestablished himself in the field of play, touched the ball at the 1-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. There is no charge timeout.
No timeout charge to the Cowboys. They moved the ball back to the 1.
Yeah, and that was the right call. And I think they called that the first time, and then they changed their mind, and then they bring it back again. And Troy Aikman saying, "Good job, good job. When we get out there, we'll do this." Andy Reid is saying, "I haven't won anything since I've been in Philadelphia, including a challenge."
He even looks a little bit like Mike Holmgren.
Yeah, but he's going to look like Mike Holmgren's grandfather
if this
doesn't start getting something going here. This is tough. I mean,
really a nice guy, Andy Reid.
Yes, he is, and he's a good coach. But he's took him time to get this bad. It's going to take him time to get better.
Staley gets out to the 15. Long run, certainly the longest gain of today on the ground by the Eagles.
Yeah, and in their behalf, they've had some bad things. We talked about the penalties they've had, the drop passes, those kinds of things that have stopped them too. Terrible field position.
Staley knocked backwards this time. There's nothing there. It's a host of Cowboys.
But having said that, even though they've had all these things, they are, at some point you have to say that this is an inept offense.
I think you have to say that.
They've been trying. They've been trying here for 10 years to get an offensive line, and they used draft, and they've just never been able to get one to stay and play together for a long period of time.
Pederson well behind his intended receiver, Dietrich Gels. That's not always the quarterback's fault.
No, a lot of times on that slant, you have to throw the ball away from the defender too. There's a guy who has to really be feeling this right above the belly button area. That the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles,
Jeff Lurie. Somebody will say to me he doesn't even go out in public.
Well, you don't see him around like you used to, do you?
Nope. Pass incomplete. Gels again. The ball went right through his arm.
They haven't thrown any on Deion Sanders, but that doesn't mean anything. They haven't thrown any on Kevin Smith either.
No.
They haven't thrown anything to anyone successfully.
Kevin Smith got a hand on this.
Yes,
one.
he did. Yeah. I mean, that's good coverage, and that's a second big play he had. Remember, they tried that reverse pass, and they tried to fool him, and he had great coverage on that play.
Landetta again has the ball come off the inside of his foot. Deion.
See, I told you, he's taking too much time dancing around before he goes. You got to go.
He keeps saying he's come up with another dance, but if he keeps dancing like that, he's not going to have a chance to use it. 10-0.
This is what we're talking about here, Pat. I mean, Deion Sanders, good catch, makes it, but he dances here. You see right there. I mean, you got to go. You can't be doing this, because the longer you do that, the more time those white jerseys have to converge on you.
Smith over the left side. Got a yard, perhaps 2, maybe.
This Eagle defense has really been pretty good against Troy Aikman. You can see by the zones where he's worked. He's worked the short passes. 7 out of 11 to the left and 6 out of 8 to the right. And that's really where he's got me. He hasn't thrown any in the middle on either side. He's thrown 2 deep to the left and 1 deep to the right is all. And he's stayed pretty cautious in this game, in the passing game.
2nd and 8. They give again to Smith, who breaks a tackle and stumbles up about 2 yards shy of a first down.
Yeah, this offense, kind of bogged down. I mean, you lose a Michael Irvin, and then you lose a Mark Stepnoski. You don't have your right guard, Everett McIver. So
that'll cause you to.
It's easy to say, that they ought to open it up, they ought to go after him, because I feel a little, and Chan Gailey thought last week too that they would go and go and go and then put it on cruise control offensively. And I kind of feel that they've had it on cruise control a lot offensively today.
Here's Emmitt Smith again. He does get a first down before he's knocked out of bounds by William Thomas.
It's amazing how Emmitt Smith has been such a great player for such a long time.
Yeah.
And you look at all those other running backs, that were good last year and they're injured. Look at the quarterbacks and they're injured. Whatever happens, it seems like number 22 is always there for the Cowboys.
Well, you remember the last couple of years, people had said he hadn't got it anymore. He's over the hill, or he's lost a step, or something like that. He said to us in a meeting earlier this year, you remember, I feel better than I have in 3 years. Pass it out to the Rocket, Ismail. Stopped by Benson.
This is what we're just talking about. Look at this. Look at this season. What a topsy-turvy year. The Super Bowl teams were 0-8 going into this weekend. The top 4 rushers, Terrell Davis, Jamal Anderson, are out for the season. Garrison Hurst is out indefinitely, could be out for the season. Barry Sanders retired. 4 out of the 5 leading quarterbacks, Testaverde, Young, Chandler, Elway, of course, retired. So that's what makes it topsy-turvy. I think the things that were aren't.
Well, you think about Jamal Anderson. Nobody hit him when he got hurt. And Terrell Davis got hurt by his own man.
And then you say, who would have thought, under the area of who would have thought the undefeated teams would be Dallas, New England, and St. Louis. Now, there's a big surprise. But look at that. The top 5 quarterbacks would be Kurt Warner would be the top quarterback. I mean, no one even knew this guy's name.
Brad Johnson, he can play. He's good.
Yeah, and and Drew Bledsoe, of course, is, and Neil O'Donnell's been around. But the running backs, I mean, how about Stephen Davis from the Washington Redskins?
Aikman, outside quick to Warren, who leaned forward close to a first down.
Yeah, but they're bringing it back a little. Watch where they put that. I mean, you see, Chris Warren tried to stretch that out, and then the official who spotted it brought it back, and this is going to be very close. But you can see there, I think it is a first down, but the official chains are on this side. You have a marker on the other side, but the official chains are over on the side away from it, right here. These guys here, these guys that are running in, they're the official chain.
Well, they change it to half.
At halftime, they go on one side the first half, they're on the other side the first half, then they're on this half the second side. So that marker there is not official. That's right outside it. But this one right here is, and it's going to be a first down.
And that ball's wet on one side.
You see the lunge right there is they let him have the first part of the lunge. You see where it's where the ball is when your knee goes down, and that's where the official spotted the ball, not where you reach it out and put it at the end.
The ball is when your knee goes down. How about the Bears leading Minnesota?
That's what I just said. It's a topsy-turvy year.
Yeah, you did. You were right. Here's Emmitt again. And Emmitt gets to about the 38.
I'll tell you one thing about this game, though, and then you get a little rain, a little cooler. It's good hitting weather, and there's some good hitting going on down there. I mean, this isn't like a great football game. I mean, the Eagles can't do anything at all offensively. The Cowboys are a little on cruise control, but both these teams are hitting each other.
And this is good hitting weather.
Yeah, it's a little muggy for good hitting weather. Good hitting weather is when there's a little more nip in the air than now. A little wet. Little nip in the air.
I never found that day.
Frost on the pumpkin.
Aikman lofts it outside in the direction of his fullback, Tim Lester.
But again, there's no way that Troy Aikman is going to take those hits today. And you know, we talked about, you know, protection being part of it, running game being part of it, and those little check loops to the back. If there's nothing down there, you know, just get rid of it to one of those guys. And maybe that's part of the conservative offense too.
Well, Chan Gailey's got a lot going on. He's not only the head coach, he calls the plays into Aikman. A lot of things to keep track of. But now they got instant replay. He wants to challenge. 3rd and 7. Blitz coming. Aikman gets rid of it. Jason Tucker, the intended receiver.
That was a heck of a play by Chris Warren. I mean, he came in there and he saw the blitz coming, and they would have knocked Aikman down. Chris Warren comes back there and comes across, pick up the blitz. Watch him right here. He sees it on that side, and he just gets over there in front of Troy Aikman just enough that he really knocked 2 off. Now, it wasn't a first down. It didn't do anything, but it saved Troy Aikman from a big hit by 2 guys.
That's a heck of a play.
And you can take 2 that are coming free and save your quarterback, it is.
And come as far as he had to come. Toby going again, hangs one way up there. And this one does bound into the end zone, and this one they will bring back to the 20. And there will be no challenge. The Eagles take over at their own 20.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Ameritrade, believe in yourself. And by Nextel, how business gets done.
Welcome back to the Vet. And as what most people would expect around here, the boos are starting to come. Every time the offense takes the field now, the fans are booing because they want Donovan McNabb to go in. We'll see if that prompts the coach to put him in here soon. Back to you, Pat.
It is still Doug Pederson, and Deuce Staley gets the carry.
You know, one of the things, the Eagles haven't scored a touchdown. We mentioned this earlier, since the first game of the season. And the thing about that is they have a lot of turnovers. But they haven't taken the turnover. You know, usually you look at turnovers and then turnovers lead to points. I mean, they've got all these turnovers and then no points off turnovers.
James Bostic comes in for Deuce Staley. Bostic gets the carry. And they get a couple. Well, 12 punts by both teams. Points scored by both teams. More punts than points.
No, and that's either, when you have more punts than points, you either have to say this is a boring offensive game or this is a great defensive battle.
What would you say?
This is a boring offensive game.
Flag on the play.
Well, this isn't very good offensive football.
Kevin Smith, Ismail Reese. Flag's going to be against him.
Ismail Reese is playing for Darren Woodson.
Yep.
We mentioned Darren Woodson got hurt in practice the other day. They didn't know if he was going to play today.
43 defense. First down.
They checked him out, and they did. Watch him come in here and use his left hand. Watch, he gets his left hand, grabs him on the shoulder, and pulls him around. His right hand was all right. It was that left hand on the shoulder by Ismail Reese that was a penalty.
He wasn't going to catch the ball anyway. But it's first down in Philadelphia. And the handoff to Staley. And Deuce will get another Eagle first down, as for the first time today they get into Cowboy territory. Right now for an update. Again, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
And John, take a look at Tony Horn, special teams for the Rams. If it's not the offense, it's special teams doing damage. 97 yards to pay dirt. Second career touchdown for Horn. Boy, Rams spanking San Francisco 35-20. Back to Pat and John.
Spanking San Francisco. The Cowboys are slugging the Eagles, or slugging it out with the Eagles. Here's Staley.
Now they finally got some good field position. This is the deepest penetration the Eagles have had all day, and now they're getting a little something going. Now if you get some running going, then you can go some play pass and you can do some things. And what was frustrating the Eagles before this is they weren't getting anything going at all, so you couldn't do anything off anything that you hadn't gotten going.
2nd and 4. Staley again tried to cut it back. Slipped down. The slip caused by Kavika Pittman.
Yeah, Kavika Pittman got penetration, and he got in the backfield, and Staley is trying to cut off of that, and he just slips. But that will be the thing. If you say what stops the run better than anything, it's penetration at the line of scrimmage. When you play on their side of the ball, it is very, very difficult to run. Kavika Pittman made that play from right there the last time.
3rd and 6. Here's Pederson back to throw, chased out of the pocket by Pittman. Now he's going to loft it deep, and does, and it's intercepted by Ismail Reese in the end zone, and so they'll bring it back to the 20.
Ismail Reese, who just had the penalty. Kavika Pittman, who just made the play before, really gets Doug Pederson out of a rhythm and makes him scramble and throw this one. I don't know. That's one of the things. His guy falls down. It's that kind of day.
Yep.
Watch Kavika Pittman here. He just starts to the outside. He's being held and everything. He makes Doug Pederson scramble out here and then locate the interception.
So you're Abigail's special friend from the office.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, Stuart, what are your plans for the future?
Well, I wouldn't mind living here.
No, what's your passion, Stuart?
I like to trade online. You ever heard of Ameritrade?
I'm a stockbroker's son.
Dad, he only pays $8 a trade.
Give a kid a computer and he thinks he can beat the market.
I don't want to beat the market. I want to grab it, sock it in the gut a couple times, turn it upside down, hold it by the pants, shake them out till all those pockets empty, all that spare change. Let's see.
Ameritrade. Call now.
Stop it!
Need brakes? Now during the Midas $40 lifetime brakes rebate, save $20 per axle or $40 for your whole car. Lifetime guaranteed $40 in savings right now. Go safely. Go Midas.
Donovan McNabb on the Eagles sideline. Their first draft choice. Troy Aikman, who a few years ago was the Cowboys' first draft choice.
They haven't sacked him today, but you look, they've hurt him 10 times and hit him 6 times. He's had 1 interception. They've gotten after him pretty good, but they haven't gotten him while he still had the ball.
Aikman drops and throws quickly, complete to Ernie Mills. A gain of about 7.
Yeah, they've knocked him down or hit him just like they did on that play, and it's been that kind of day for him. I mean, there's they're blitzing the corners, they're coming from all over and make him, not get in the rhythm that he wants to. That's the thing that Jim Johnson, defensive coordinator of the Eagles, is starting, not letting him get in a rhythm, not let him throw when he wants to, but make him throw when we want him to, and the Eagles have done a good job of that.
Pitch back to Emmitt. And Emmitt out of bounds. That should put him over 100 yards for the day. His 24th carrier.
We saw a picture earlier of Donovan McNabb, and this is the first time we've seen him on the sideline with his helmet on. Yeah. So I would expect that, I don't know if they've told him he's going to go in the next time they have the ball, or he thinks it's about time he should be going in. But he does have his helmet on, so that, I mean, before when we saw he had a cape on.
That was Darren Woodson over on the Cowboys sideline. He sprained his ankle in practice. Passed through the arms of Raheem Ismail, the Rocket. There's Darren Woodson. stepped on somebody's foot in practice on Thursday.
He had a high ankle sprain, and they said they were going to work him out here this morning to see if he was going to play or not, but they never did bring him out here to work him out. They just made him inactive, and he's a very, very important part of that defense.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he's the kind of guy who would say, if he was in uniform, I'm going to play.
And they can get along without him today.
Yeah. LaFleur makes the catch for about 8 from Aikman.
I think Troy Aikman wishes that LaFleur was a little more nimble. You know, he could move around a little, because he really you go all the way back to Jay Novacek, and Aikman loves to throw to his tight end.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score: the Cowboys 10, the Eagles nothing. Fox NFL Sunday from Veterans Stadium will continue after a word from your local Fox station. A couple of very lonely Eagle fans. One on the right. Well, the Cowboys give to Emmitt Smith on first down, and Emmitt breaks away from one tackler, runs out of bounds close to midfield. Another Cowboy first down.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more outside plays to the Cowboys. That's something that Chan Gailey brought. Remember, before that, they would always run the in plays and I formation, and now they're going more outside. And I think we're saying Donovan McNabb, I think this is a pretty good indicator here that he's going to go in the next time the Eagles get the ball. First of all, he put the hat on, and then he started warming up. So I think he put the hat on maybe first on his own, and then someone probably said, hey, you're going in.
Aikman from behind. Did well not to fumble. Mike Mamula, who's been close a lot of times, finally got there.
Hey, Mamula has been close, and he's been doing a good job over there on the right defensive side, and that's the backside of Troy Aikman. Watch him come from here. He's going to go against Flozell Adams. Flozell Adams starts outside. Larry Allen starts to the outside, and Mamula just splits them both, and Troy Aikman didn't see him nor feel him coming. That was quite a jolt he took.
Yeah, he did well not to lose the ball. Aikman drops. Aikman throws back across his body, back to Emmitt Smith.
That's the old deal of always having that back short somewhere.
Yep. Coming up, some of you will see the ultimate in head-to-head competition as world champion and Olympic athletes join forces. Fox Sports presents the Grand Slam of Skating World Super Teams Challenge. Check your local listings for the start time in your area. 3rd and 17 for Dallas. Aikman from the shotgun. Fricky is still his center. Pass is caught. What a throw and what a catch by Jeff Ogden. And now they're saying incomplete. They're correct.
And he trapped that one. Yeah, we talk about Troy Aikman is thrown, but he's only averaging 4.5 per throw. This is one of the few that he's thrown deep lately. And you see Ogden come up, and he's going to lead him back. And you see, when you run a hook pattern, if you're going to lead the guy, you have to lead him back to you.
Allen Rossum back deep for the Eagles for Toby Goins' punt.
That official must have saw a different angle.
Yeah, he must have.
That angle, he looked like he caught that ball.
Get over.
Rossum signals fair catch, but can't catch up to it, and it goes out of bounds. The Eagles will take over at the 26. And let's check out their quarterback.
Pederson's going in.
Pederson. McNabb still on the sideline.
kids' clothes, and I don't have kids.
I get discounts for car repair. I take the subway.
I get offers for aluminum siding. I live in an apartment.
Hey, you behind the glass. You're the one with the computers and databases. You don't know me. You don't know them.
Right. You ought to know who we are.
Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you.
Yeah, I think they got sandwiches in there.
I am an American soldier. I am a member of the United States Army.
You are my brother. You are my sister.
You are brave.
And full of courage.
You're my son.
You are my daughter.
You're a peacekeeper.
I am proud of my country and its flag.
You stand tall.
You make me proud.
me proud.
You keep your promises.
You keep me safe.
You're my hero.
And you keep freedom alive.
For I am an American soldier.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Infiniti, makers of the all-new i30 Performance Luxury Sedan. It's all the best thinking. By the U.S. Army, be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be. By 1010-220, dial it and talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents. And by IBM, are you ready for e-business?
Rowing is big here in Philadelphia. The Eagles are not. Kavika Pittman again chasing Pederson.
Remember that pass to Jeff Ogden? Yep. It looked like he caught the ball. It was a good call by the officials. Look right here. The ball hits the ground. The one that we saw, it looked like he caught the ball, but that official was right on it and made the right call.
A late substitution coming in for Dallas. And the handoff goes quickly to Staley. And Staley stays on his feet and pulls away from a couple of tacklers. Now he's saying they had me by the face mask.
He's going to any official that'll listen, and finally there is a flag down.
Yep. The Cowboys got late substitutions in. And the Philadelphia Eagles ran a play before they got set.
You know, if there's one bright spot on this Philadelphia Eagle offensive team, we know that there's some bright spots in the defensive team, but it has to be Deuce Staley.
Yep.
I mean, he looks like a guy who really enjoys playing football, and you know, maybe if he had some better people around him, would be one of the top guys. Yep, that is going to be.
Yep.
And the face mask and unnecessary. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
Yeah, they got him for too many men on the field and face mask. You know, face mask, there's a 5-yard variety and a 15-yard.
Too many men on the field on the defense. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, grabbing and pulling on the face mask. 15 yards from the end of the run. That penalty is accepted. First down.
That's a 15-yard. I mean, you're going to see the extra guy was right there. He's trying to get off, and he wasn't off before the ball was snapped. But that penalty was declined. The face mask penalty for 15 yards is the one that they called right there.
And that moves the Eagles into Cowboy territory at the 44 as Pederson looks to throw it. Knocked down. Incomplete. Ismail Reese again. The pass intended for Turn Small.
Ismail Reese is one of those guys who plays nickel and plays special teams, second-year guy, and he's done pretty well in those positions. Here he gets a good jump. I mean, literally. I mean, he's way up in the air. Then the ball goes right through his hands.
2nd and 10. Staley. Fumble. And the Eagles get it back. Staley gets it back. Ismail Reese on the tackle.
Deuce Staley looks like a man possessed here. I mean, he's going after him. He said, I mean, if I have to go out here and win this thing single-handedly, I'll do it. Just hand it to me. Give me some blocks, and I'll run over some. That's exactly what he's doing. I mean, here, he looks like Ismail Reese is all ready to make the hit on him. He just gives him a little move and keeps on going.
He almost got the ball out, but Staley held on. Here's Pederson. Incomplete. Charles Johnson, the intended receiver. Kevin Smith right back there with him.
Well, those are the things that you can do. I mean, you know, it's not. I mean, the protection's a little better. You have a shot at a guy, and it's interesting that Kevin Smith. I don't know. You know, he's had a bulging disc in his back. I think he hurt himself on that play, Pat, because after that play he raised his hand and took himself out.
Pederson hasn't completed a pass in this half. Bostic is the setback. Pederson fires incomplete. Right through their hands. And again, Douglas can't hang on this time. That's a hard pass to catch. He threw it very hard.
Yeah,
and low.
That's Damian Douglas, a rookie from the University of California. He was drafted by the Raiders, waived by the Raiders, and the Eagles picked him up. And again, you don't have time to work with these guys. I mean, this is a slant pattern, and he has to catch that, though. I mean that ball is right in what they call the old bread basket. It went into the bread basket and bounced right out.
Juwan Hawthorne replaced Kevin Smith. Cowboys blitz. Now Pederson tries to take off and then just tucks it under. And it's going to be 4th down.
You know, made a good play there, and he's stumbling to stand up as Chad Hennings. You know, because it looked like Doug Pederson had a lane to run in, and Chad Hennings just stood right in that lane. Watch Chad Hennings here, and this play could have stopped the 1st down. So he's getting double team, double team, double team. Now watch, now he has the lane. See Doug Pederson starting to run? Watch Chad Hennings right there. He plugs that lane, and Doug Pederson, hey, with big old 95, I can't be doing any running.
So the Eagles will try a field goal. Norm Johnson from 48 yards out. And Johnson is good, and the Eagles finally get on the board. It's 10-3 with 11:48 left.
Break out the balloons.
Dallas 10, Philadelphia 3. Dallas 10, Philadelphia 3. Kevin Smith looked like he's okay.
Yeah, it could have been one of those things that, you know, not having played, being in shape and being in football shape were two different things, and he could just be running out of gas.
Yeah.
But he did take himself out. Jeff
Ogden to return the kick. Ogden still on his feet, struggles out to the 35-yard line. Tonight it's pivotal game 4 of the AL Division Series when the Boston Red Sox try to keep their postseason hopes alive and force a decisive game 5 as they battle the Indians. Coverage begins tonight live at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The two starting pitchers in tonight's contest. It's 1st and 10 Dallas. Aikman pitches back to Emmitt. Right now, let's send you down to DJ Johnson.
Yeah, I'm here with Cowboys injured defensive back Darren Woodson. Darren, how do you think the defense has played without you there today?
They played great. Isaiah Reese came in, filled my spot, filled in for him, and he's playing good. And, you know, George Teague is going to be the captain out there for today, and he's been keeping this team together.
When do you think you'll be back?
I got a high ankle sprain. I'm hopefully trying to come back next week. I don't know what's going to happen just yet.
Have you got? Okay, thanks a lot, Darren. Appreciate it.
He really is a wonderful player, Darren Woodson. And a wonderful guy, too. Aikman fakes and drops it up the middle, incomplete.
You know, you talk about that Greg Ellis play last week. If it weren't for Darren Woodson, Greg Ellis wouldn't have run that thing all the way back.
That's true. Right now, for an update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat, wonderful also describes the offense of the Rams. Take a look at Warner all day long. 4th touchdown catch by Isaac Bruce. 5th touchdown toss by Warner today. 42-20 over San Francisco. Might qualify as a spank. Back to Pat and John.
Not the same old Rams, I guess, huh?
They are not the same old Rams.
3rd and 6.
How about Isaac Bruce, 4 touchdowns. Kurt Warner, 5 touchdown passes.
Aikman looking to his right.
Look out.
Standing. Pass is complete to Ismail. The Rocket. Aikman had forever.
Yeah, and the first one that he went up to his offensive lineman and gave them that high five type of sign to thank them for that time. Because if he does have time, I mean, he's going to do surgery on you. He's going to find something. It took him a long time to find something because the Eagles did have good coverage. Now, there's no way that you can cover a receiver like Ismail that long and not have him catch a ball. I mean, if you can protect the guy and give a quarterback like Troy Aikman that much time, he's going to complete the pass.
1st and 10. Fakes to Emmitt. Rolls right. LaFleur got held up. Pass is broken up. Troy Vincent.
And we talked about this Eagle defense being a good defense. They have 2 good corners. I mean, Bobby Taylor, we talked about him, but this Troy Vincent, he's a heck of a corner too.
That's a pretty good place to start, your cornerbacks.
I mean, watch him. I mean, he gets there the same time the ball does. I mean, it just knocks that thing right out of there. He read that all the way. That was a bootleg. The Cowboys don't run a lot of bootlegs or stuff where Troy Aikman runs, but they seem to be doing it more this year.
Pitch is back to Emmitt Smith, who just jogs out of bounds. Jim Hawk, Bobby Taylor, Brian Dawkins all up to face him.
There's a little rumble going on downfield here about the 30-yard line.
But I don't see any Cowboys. Look like a pair of Eagles rumbling.
The guys just going against themselves, huh? If the Eagles are going to have any rumbles amongst themselves, I think it's all Fricky in there, isn't it? I think it was all Eagles and Ben Fricky. Ben Fricky, the center, playing for Mark Stepnoski.
Aikman. That's Ernie Mills that made the reception. They get him down perhaps into field goal range.
Yeah, that'll be in field goal range, and they'll be kicking a field goal here. And again, that was the thing that the Cowboy passing offense is very conservative today. As we said, they've averaging 4.5 yards per attempt, so they're really not getting the ball down the field much, and they always have that loop out there, either a back or like Ernie Mills on that time, just to guarantee they won't take a loss.
Cunningham made his first one from 42. This is 50. Plenty of leg, but no good. And they'll bring it back and give the Eagles pretty fair field position. 10-3. Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pat Summerall, John Madden. The Cowboys 10, the Eagles 3. The Eagles have the ball at their own 41. Staley, just a yard. Stopped by Spellman.
In the second half, Deuce Staley now has carried the ball 11 times for 68 yards. So we said that offensively, the Eagles all day haven't gotten anything going until Deuce Staley got them going here. You can see the second half, 65 yards for 7.2 yards per carry. First half, it was just averaging 1.8. So did they get anything going offensively? They have gotten Deuce Staley going in the second half.
Ball deflected, and it bounces on the turf.
Doug Pederson has more tip balls than anyone I've ever seen. Here's two of Deuce Staley's runs from the last series. You can see that that he not only runs with movement, but he runs with power, and he really finishes his runs off. He never stops his legs moving.
He's about 220, maybe a little bit bigger than that. That's what they list him at, and not very tall. So
there's one offensive Eagle I would take.
Pass is caught from Pederson to Charles Johnson, all the way down at the Dallas 19.
Now that is something you say you don't do if you have double coverage. Don't throw into double coverage. Charlie Wilson is here on Charles Johnson. Johnson makes a good move, then a little swim. He's going to get some help from the inside. He doesn't get over, and Johnson makes the catch. I'll tell you, that was a heck of a move he made getting by him. See, he started the outside, then he gave him a little left hand, threw the right hand in to get inside, and then he had that post there before the safety got over.
This is an Eagle timeout. They just called it. There was some confusion on what play they wanted.
Big E doesn't have his pants on.
I know. Dallas ahead 10-3, but the Eagles, after that pass completion from Pederson to Johnson, have a first down at the Dallas 21.
You know, that pass completion was 36 yards, and it was their longest play of the year.
Pederson drops, fakes left, throws right. Luther Broughton gets inside the 10.
See, that's what we were talking about earlier. After you hit a few things, after you hit a deep one, then you can throw a screen pass. The Eagles were trying to throw screen passes, and they hadn't hit anything. You see, Broughton is going to be out here, and he comes across in motion. Pederson comes back, fakes to the left, throws the screen pass out to his tight end, who had come in motion from the left to the right. Steve Everett gets out there and gets a pretty good block right there to spring Broughton.
The handoff is to Staley. Randall Godfrey wrapped him up.
Dallas is thinking that they let this team sit in there, you know, that their defense, the Eagle defense, has played so well, and I always felt that that Cowboy offense was a little on cruise control, but maybe they didn't need that much more. But if they get one in here, they're going to have to start playing again.
Second and goal. Pederson drops, looks back to his left, another screen pass. This one's to Staley. Staley around the corner, flag on the play. Flag downfield.
I think that was the left guard, Doug Brzezinski again, Pat. You know, the penalties generally have been killing the Eagles, specifically the penalties by the rookies. This is Brzezinski. This is going to be Brzezinski's second.
Holding. 74 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's a tough one.
You're going to see Brzezinski is right here, number 74. And you're going to see him hold right there. See that left hand in there?
Well, there's no doubt about it.
No, there's no doubt. It's right in front of the official and right in front of the ball and right in front of the touchdown.
Which is called back, and now the line of scrimmage is back just inside the Dallas 20. Second and goal. Pederson gets to Staley. Deuce Staley gets back to the 13. Tavika Pittman tripped him up.
Brzezinski got a pretty good block that time. We're talking about what the Cowboys did with Larry Allen. Brzezinski's doing some of the same things. He was out there in the screen to the left, and that time he pulls to the right. You're going to see him here. He's going to pull to the right and lead the play up. He gets a kick out right here that Staley runs right off of. That's your left guard. You see him pull right there. Boink, right there. Pretty good.
Not bad. Third and goal. Pederson drops to throw it. Throws across the field. No flag as yet. The crowd, the Eagles yelling for one, but Dexter Coakley broke it up.
And the Eagles are going to have to kick a field goal here. I know that you think you ought to go for a touchdown, but in this situation here, they have to kick a field goal. I think that was just good defense.
That was
don't
a good
you?
play. Dexter Coakley, yeah.
Dexter Coakley is what, we say Woodson is a defensive back that can play like a linebacker. Dexter Coakley is a linebacker that can play like a defensive back.
And he's playing very well. Johnson's field goal is good from 31 yards.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they had to do. Just keep it close. One thing the Eagles have done today is they've just hung in there. They haven't gotten anything going offensively. Their defense is playing outstanding. The Cowboys look like they're not going for a lot of things. That's what Chan Gailey is saying here. That we let these guys hang in there all day, and now we got 5 minutes and 42 seconds of dogfight left.
Just thinking ahead, is it too early for an onside kick?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think with 5 minutes 42 seconds, they have 2 of their timeouts. You got the 2-minute warning, change of possession. That's a lot of time. I think if they thought that they were going to, if they were desperate and they needed to play, I think they would have gone for it on 4th down. I think the fact that you kick a field goal, you are saying our defense is playing well. We can kick off, we can stop him, and we're going to get the ball back again.
Well, Joe Avesano, who handles the Dallas special teams, the kickoff return team, one of those, has instructed them what he wants done. And it doesn't look like they're expecting an onside kick either. Akers kicks deep. It's going to be Ogden to return it. Jeff Ogden out to about the 28. Fantastic finishes in 1995. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, they did it twice. Remember, it was 4th down. Barry Switzer called that play 2 times.
Remember this? Aikman intercepted, and who will ever forget the fumbles from center, the fumble snapped by Tommy Hutton. And the Cowboys hung on to win that one.
We could have another one of those coming up. At least by that field goal by the Eagles, I think we dodged overtime.
Yeah.
Because I was getting a little whiff, not a big smell, a little whiff of overtime coming.
Thought I smelled it. Here's Emmitt Smith. Cuts back outside the 35 to the 37, stopped by Tim Houck.
Yeah, it's funny that Emmitt Smith's cutbacks really haven't been there since Mark Stepnoski went out. And when Mark Stepnoski wasn't there, and then later they got Ray Donaldson, who was still a very good center, the cutbacks were there. After they lost Ray Donaldson, Emmitt Smith hasn't had a lot of cutbacks until he got Mark Stepnoski back.
And don't forget Daryl Johnson.
Yeah, that's big too. Daryl Johnson, one of the best blocking fullbacks that ever played this game.
Aikman reaches for Emmitt Smith, and he doesn't get a first down.
The Eagles come in here 0-4, and the offense can't do anything, and you think that the defense would get down, but watch these guys. I mean, they got 8 men up there. They're just playing the heck out of run. They're playing run about as hard as you can play run without run blitzing.
Well, you think about their 0-4 record. 2 of their losses were by 1 point.
Right, and they'll fight you. I mean, this defense will fight you, and I'll say this, because of this strong defense, the Cowboy offense has been very, very conservative.
And because of that defense, the Eagles are still in this game. They get to Emmitt, and Emmitt won't make the first down.
That's a big play. That's why they didn't need onside kicks and stuff.
Right. William Thomas. There's the defensive coordinator, Jimmy Johnson, who was at Seattle last year.
Jim Johnson says that we have to go after him. Look, again, they have 9 men right up there at the line of scrimmage. And all the Cowboys would have to do, I mean, you hate to second guess, but if you go play pass or something like this, you could get a big, big play if you fake the run and throw the ball, because they are playing run on those last 2 downs about as hard as you can play run.
Well, when they beat Washington in overtime, the Cowboys I'm talking about, that's what they did. They went play pass. And they had a touch. They won it. This one bounces back and bounces out of bounds at about the 38, where the Eagles will take over with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left. Tonight, it's the pivotal game 4 of the AL Division Series. The Red Sox try to keep their postseason hopes alive, force a decisive game against the Indians. Coverage begins tonight live at 7:30 Eastern Time. Those are the starting pitchers. Bartolo Colon and Kent Merker.
Well, Chan Gailey has to get his head on straight there after that 28-yard punt.
Here's Staley.
That didn't look like a very crisp play, did it? It looked like it was kind of a warm-up play or something.
Like we've made it look better now. Let's sit on this.
I think that this offense got going a little, and the guy that got him going was this guy right here, Deuce Staley.
Deuce. Here's Deuce again. He's still on his feet and still fighting, and here comes the flag flying in.
That guy is a football player.
Yep.
Like I said, if you had there was not a lot you'd take off this offensive team, but Deuce Staley is one of them.
This looks like it's against Philadelphia. And that's a killer.
They've had killers all day. I mean, they had a touchdown a little while ago that was called back. I mean, they've had penalties, drop passes. I mean, about everything bad that can happen has.
81 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still
How many
down.
touchdowns did you say this Philadelphia offensive unit has scored?
They've scored no touchdowns since the first week.
Yeah.
And then that one, this is called on number 81 there, Charles Johnson. You see, he's going against Charlie Williams there, and he did hold.
Yeah.
And probably if that were away from the ball, if the ball carrier didn't run right by him, they probably wouldn't have called that.
Pederson in the middle, Small, and Torrance Small fights and gets the first down. They overcome the penalty, but the clock is running with 2:20 left to play.
Yeah, well, they have plenty of time because, like I said, they have 2 timeouts, plus they're going to get one at the 2-minute warning. I think they would like to get one play in here before the 2-minute warning, though.
They better hurry. They'll get it done. Hand off to Staley. Staley is still on his feet, and still Staley gallops all the way down to the 31, and we'll get that 2-minute warning, but the clock will stop. Philadelphia driving. The Eagles at the Dallas 31-yard line. They have 2 timeouts left. The Cowboys got ahead 10-0, and then, as John's been saying all day, they put it on cruise control.
Yep, and they let this team hang in there, and now they got a dogfight for 1:54 seconds. But the Eagle defense also played outstanding today.
And the Cowboys have missed a lot of tackles. Here's Pederson back to throw it. Just does get rid of it. Incomplete in the end zone. In the direction of Gels, who is the fastest, they say, of the Eagle receivers. He hasn't really been unveiled yet.
Well, Torrance Small and Charles Johnson, their 2 starters aren't speed guys.
Nope.
Diedrich Gels is their speed guy, so you know, if they were thinking of a deep one, that was the play that they were going to go. They were going to sneak in the game and try and get them on an up, but the Cowboys had good coverage.
Massive shift by the Eagles. Staley winds up deep, and they give the ball to Deuce Staley. And Deuce is taken down after he picks up about 3. Kavika Pittman.
And now I think the Eagles have to think here of going for it on 4th down. So it's 3rd down now. So they have 2 downs to get a first down. That's the first thing they have to do. They have to get a first down. So you can do it in 2 plays because you've already decided now, if you're Andy Reid, that if you don't get it on 3rd, you're going to go for it on 4th.
They need 6 for a first on 3rd. Pederson drops. Throws up the middle, has a man open. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Charles Johnson got into the end zone. The Cowboys were unbeaten when they came, and they sat on it a little too long. Pederson to Johnson. Chan Gailey can't believe it.
If they let him hang in there, and the Eagles did hang in there. And Doug Pederson hung in there. And they had everything bad that could happen.
Their first touchdown in the last 18 quarters. A strike from Pederson. Dave Campo.
Yeah, well, he called the defense, and he, you know, from up there, he's up in the booth, and he could see Charles Johnson open all the way. And when Johnson caught that pass, you knew it was going to be a touchdown.
Steve Everett. (12-10) the score. Andy Reid wants a timeout.
I think what Andy Reid is thinking is, should he go for 2?
Maybe.
I don't think so. I think because you get the 1, that gives you 13, and they have to then tie you with a field goal. If you go for it and don't make it, they can beat you with a field goal.
Those of you who watched St. Louis beat San Francisco 42-20, welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where the Eagles have just gone ahead of the Cowboys 12-10, and they're lining up for the extra point. To make it 13, he thought, I think, about going for 2 to make it 14-10.
He made the right decision.
He made the right decision. I agree. It's 13-10. Those of you who watched Atlanta beat New Orleans 20-17, the Eagles just scored to go ahead of Dallas.
And here's the play right here. You can see Small goes deep. Charles Johnson lets him clear. Then he comes under, and he was wide open in the middle. The minute he catches this ball, you knew it was a touchdown because you could see that there was no one between Charles Johnson and the goal line. And all he had to do was that, just dive into the end zone.
And he had great protection by his offensive line. And now the Eagles. The defense has done the work all afternoon for Philadelphia.
They have played outstanding today. They kept this team in the game the whole way. And then in the second half, offensively, Staley got him started.
Deion Sanders in for Dallas to return kickoffs.
Well, they're starting to feel it now. They didn't feel any urgency.
Nope.
The Cowboys until right now, or that maybe when Charles Johnson got that thing. They were playing this game, like we said earlier, on cruise control, and now they are playing it with an overload of urgency.
Well, Chan Gailey was a little worried about that last night. Akers' kick goes down to Sanders, who's going to bring it right from the goal line. And Deion Sanders spins away from one. Flag on the play as he got just outside the 20.
Well, now you have to think here that the Cowboys have all their timeouts. So with all your timeouts and a minute 1, that's still plenty of time.
Jerry Jones had been to the hospital when they took Michael Irvin earlier in the game. Holding against Dallas. They'll bring it back. And Jerry's returned to the sideline. Michael Irvin, by the way.
Holding.
They're holding here in Philadelphia at the hospital overnight for observation, but he does have feeling in his extremities, and he is alert.
And now that penalty really put the Cowboys in bad position. They're inside the 15-yard line. Got 1 minute left, and they have one guy that can make a big play for him, and that's Rocket Ismail. And I would think that somewhere they're going to have to take a shot to him. I would think first thing you try and get the ball. Your first goal is to get a couple of first downs and get the ball out to midfield. Then you take your shot. You don't have to take your shots here.
They'll be coming after Aikman. He drops and throws. And incomplete. And a flag. The Rocket was the intended target.
See, and the tough thing about that flag for the Eagles is it stops the clock, because had that been completed, it would have been better.
Pass
because
defense.
the clock would keep going.
Yep.
So that gives them stop the clock and gives them an automatic first down.
A long way to go for Troy Aikman to lead his team back from behind again. Out of the shotgun. Pressure. Aikman's pass is incomplete. In the direction of Tucker.
Yeah, you can see this is Jason Tucker out here. And looks like he looks back like he's not sure what to do. Then he falls down.
Yep.
The field has been a little slippery today because it was really raining before. And Jason Tucker, he got his feet out in front of him, and he fell down, and Troy Aikman was right in the motion of throwing the ball.
51 seconds, still 3 timeouts left for Dallas.
Dallas has to be thinking now of first down.
Incomplete. Tucker slightly behind him, and now they really have to start thinking about first down.
Who would have thought in a game like this that the Cowboys would be behind and they would be trying to get back in and they'd be throwing passes to Jason Tucker?
Who would have thought, indeed. 3rd and 10. Well, we said in the beginning these two have always had a battle. Aikman chased, gets rid of it. Intercepted. Bobby Taylor with the interception. And the Eagles. And Jeffrey Lurie.
And Andy Reid gets his first win as a head coach.
Chan Gailey's in shock. Troy Aikman is in shock. Andy Reid will have a pleasant evening.
Andy Reid said, I told you, just hang in there, just stick together. And that's one thing that has been impressive about this Eagle team. The defense has played great. The offense has played terrible. But the defense and the offense never got into one of those things.
And the Cowboys just never got it going. They started losing players and losing momentum.
Well, and that defense made them lose that, too. I mean, the defense, this Eagle defense started after Troy Aikman and the Cowboys from the get-go and stayed after him the whole game.
And they stuck with Doug Pederson. We and almost everybody in the Veterans Stadium thought it was time to put in McNabb. But he stayed with him.
And we know eventually that day is going to come. And Donovan McNabb was the second player taken in the draft, and he was taken to be the future of this Philadelphia Eagle team. And then, you know, it's just when is the future.
Thank you.
Today's game's being produced by Bob Stinner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director is Mike Roy. The broadcast associates are Charles McDonald and Mark Mata. Technical producer Bob Muller. The pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producers Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And Doug Pederson quieted a few critics today. And he had a lot.
Well, and he didn't do anything in the first half. And then Doug Pederson made that big pass. I'll say that to Charles Johnson. But to me, the guy that got that offense jump-started was Deuce Staley. I mean, he came out and he ran like a man possessed in this second half.
This is the first divisional game that Chan Gailey has lost since he's been the head coach of the Cowboys. It had to end somewhere, but who would have thought?
I think that he and Troy Aikman are both going to think that they got a little too conservative and pulled it in a little too soon in this game. Well, the Cowboys, you know, did have 3 timeouts because they didn't use them on offense, so they're going to use them here. But that was their last timeout. I think they will get the. Well, no, they're not. They didn't. I guess they didn't get a timeout that last time.
The clock's still running. Now it's stopped at 15 seconds.
Yeah, because had they taken a timeout, then they would have gotten one more play.
Dallas. That's their 3rd and final timeout.
That's all the timeouts.
30-second timeout.
See, because what happens is you get an automatic timeout at change of possession.
I think Chan Gailey thought he ought to have more time on the clock.
Either that or he thought that he took the timeout sooner or didn't know that he had timeout. He should have taken it sooner. Because the Eagles are 4th down and like 12 or 13. Now, if they kneel down or just run the thing out, when it gets to 4th down, the clock stops, and that's automatic timeout at change of possession. So the Cowboys will get the ball again. But I don't know why the Cowboys took so long in taking that timeout, or maybe that's what Chan Gailey is saying. We took the timeout, and you guys didn't give it to us.
Yeah. He wants some time put back on the clock.
He's saying that they gave that signal that means you stop the clock. Because he lost about 15 seconds here. Because the Eagles The clock will start when the ball snaps, and it will stop when the whistle blows. Right now. So now it's an automatic timeout with 11 seconds, change of possession, the Cowboys will get the ball.
And they have no timeouts left now. And 11 seconds. And Aikman comes back. Couple of Hail Marys, or what do you do?
Well, I think with 11 seconds, you only have one. And the only thing you have, and I hate to say this is an advantage because you don't like to think this way. The only thing you have to remember here is they can just throw the ball up, but the game cannot end on a defensive penalty. So what you hope for is to get a pass interference, and then you get some more time.
You can't get it out of bounds, and the clock's still running, and the game is over. 13-10, the Philadelphia Eagles upset Dallas, and there's one more undefeated team that's no longer undefeated, the Cowboys.
When you